The Democratic Party is having an identity crisis, and this identity crisis is starting to evolve into straight up embarrassment. And that's what you're going to see happen right here on the screen. There is multiple fractions happening within the Democratic Party. The first one here, we're going to jump in with AOC here. She has given a response here to Donald Trump's State of the Union. We're going to listen to part of this, and I'm going to tell you how all of these people are not coalescing together, and it's becoming more noticeable. Listen to this.
Felt like I couldn't. I didn't feel like I could legitimize his presence. That being said, you know, I know different people had different takes on it. In terms of the House of Representatives, you know, I'll give you an alternative perspective. In terms of the House of Representatives, you know, some people feel, and it is true, that the State of the Union occurs in the House of Representatives, known as the People's House. And technically, in terms of the proceedings of the State of the Union, an interesting thing about the House is that it is different from almost every other chamber in that only House members are typically allowed in the House of Representatives. So anybody else that is brought into the House, that walks into the House, has to be invited. And so Trump actually has to be formally invited to the House floor in order to be allowed into the House floor. Same thing with all those senators and the cabinet members, etc. So, you know, I think other people had a certain logic, which is that this is the people's house, and Trump showing up should not kind of force the duly elected representatives of that chamber, especially those who disagree with him, out.
Okay, so we can already see that there is a split happening here, right? Because there were a number of people, or some people, that decided not to attend. AOC was one of those people that decided not to attend Trump's State of the Union address. And then there were some that decided to attend, but they decided to wear pink as like their way of protesting against Trump, or they were holding up signs, right? So here's where the criticism is coming in. A lot of people, and if you look online, a lot of people feel that people like AOC, who was not there, still should have been there, or they feel like people who were wearing pink and were holding up signs should have all gotten up and walked out with Al Green. Al Green is the representative that was kicked out of the House. So people have different opinions about it, but it's very clear, not just online, but also, as you'll see on corporate media was talking about this as well. People are just not happy with the way that the Democrats decided to handle Trump's State of the Union address. And some people feel like everybody should have got up and walked out with Al Green. Some people feel like, long story short, people just saw that there are fractions and that they're not all on the same page, right? Okay. Now we get to this part here, and I think this is why this is interesting as well. She's going to get into the part about healthcare. And I think people need to also see this, because this part, it's kind of damning that she wants to mention it now, because she really didn't want to talk about it when Biden and Kamala were in office. Listen to this part about the healthcare.
Talk about, like, you know, if you do not have a job, and you do not have a job for a long period of time, and like the percentage of people on that, on Medicaid, it's like, I don't quote me on it, but I think it's like 3 or 4%. Very, very, very small. And those are people who are often looking for work. And the vast majority of people on Medicaid low income, because we know what private health insurance is like, right? Low income, disabled, major disabilities that would really prevent people from having like full-time work, or you know, any other kind of extenuating circumstance. Medicaid has been means tested to death. So they're coming after it. And like, this is as someone who believes that healthcare is a human right. I personally believe in a single payer healthcare system. But, you know, if you want to compromise and go with a public option, you know, at the end of the day, like, the worst sin that can happen, in my view, the worst sin that can happen is that you accidentally gave someone health care.
So here's the thing, okay? Here's the thing, guys. So I believe in universal health care as well. I believe everybody should have health care in this country. That's no secret. But unlike AOC, the difference is that when Biden won the presidential election, I didn't stop talking about it. I didn't stop fighting for it. You know, when Biden and Kamala took office, don't forget that Medicare for All activists organized Medicare for All marches in over 50 cities across this country. And it wasn't just people who were progressives. It wasn't just people who were socialists. There were even some conservatives who agree with that policy who were marching with us. AOC was nowhere to be found. There was only one member of the squad who attended the Medicare for All marches, and that was Cori Bush. She attended the one in DC, but she also told people that they weren't too happy with us doing those marches. The reason why I bring this up, ladies and gentlemen, is because the reason why we are in this position right now where it could be possible that people could lose their Medicaid is because when people like AOC had a narrow majority, they chose not to use it to their advantage to the working class people, even though we begged them to do so. That's how we got here. When we asked AOC and others to force the vote for Medicare for All against Nancy Pelosi's speakership, they didn't want to do it. They didn't want any part of it. Because once Biden took office, they didn't want to fight anymore. This game that they have been playing is that we are going to fight or pretend to fight when the Republicans win, actually only when Trump wins. But when Biden and Kamala were in office, did we have universal health care for everybody? No. When Biden and Kamala were in office, did Joe Biden expand Obamacare like he promised to do? No. So why weren't they still fighting for those issues at that point in time? Because their party was in power and they were told to get in line. That's not what they were sent to DC to do. Now, they don't even have a narrow majority anymore. So now they're useless. This is why it was so important to take advantage of that opportunity when they had it. Now they don't have it. So now they can't get anything accomplished. I want people to understand this. You talking about progressive policy? They can't get anything accomplished, at least into the midterms. You don't know what's going to happen in the midterms. But right now, they can't get anything for progressive policies. And so now they're giving these long talks and they're just like, we got to fight back against, Medicaid. People might lose Medicaid. We got to fight back against that and You probably wouldn't be in this position if you took advantage of the narrow majority that you had when you had it. And maybe you could have gotten some of these progressive things through. But no, you guys decided to go along with dim leadership. And that's how we end up in this position. You don't know what could have happened. A number of things if they really could have delivered for working class people in this country, Donald Trump may not be president right now. But no, it didn't help when you had squad members agree with Joe Biden and say he's doing a great job when y'all knew he was not doing a great job. When I say that people are just playing games, this is what I'm talking about. You got Jasmine Crockett here with everything that's going on in the country. She thinks this is the right response right now.
Oh no.
It's a cultural divide. I'm gonna get it on the flow.
You really about to do it?
40 acres in the mule. This is bigger than the music.
You really about to do it?
Yeah, they tried to rig the game, but you can't fake influence.
They get on it like that.
Hey, I'm tripping, I'm sliding, I'm riding through the back like fuck. Mustard on a beat, bro. Deep boat in rap. He a freak though. Man down, call like Amber Lambs. Tell him breathe. Let them boys to the cross, they walk around like thieves. What's up with these?
Here's the problem, folks. Now is not the time for this. It just like it's like they're tone deaf or something. Why are you dancing? Is this your idea of fighting? I don't know what's happening here. You got AOC sitting down and she's on her phone and she's telling people we might lose Medicaid. I didn't go to the State of Union address. We might lose Medicaid. Jasmine Crockett's out here dancing. And then to make matters worse, because this is what I mean when I say it's fractured. It's all over the place. You even have them, and I don't know who thought this was a good idea. Jesus Christ. Somebody told some of the congressmen to get together, and they told them to, for whatever reason, to do like this video game presence here. And it's so freaking annoying. It's so freaking annoying. Look at this. What is this? I had to mute it because of the music. What are they doing? Who came up with this? This is crazy. What the? So this is supposed to be like Street Fighter, you guys, I guess. And it says choose your fighter, and they want you to choose one of them to fight. This is their idea of fighting. I don't know whoever came up with this. I don't know who these consultants are, who these strategists are, whoever came up with this idea. This is stupid. People are mocking them. People are laughing at them online. They're making fun of them. They're not with you. They're laughing at you. Look at what it says. Bento box queen. Like who? AOC, it says youngest woman plus Latina. What is this? It just youngest Black woman elected to Congress. Hates balloons. House minority whip. Not into hair dye. Are you serious? Like this is the kind of things that you do when you're winning. You're not winning. That's why this is so stupid. Totally not getting the moment. Totally not getting the moment. And so then, as you'll see, when we talk about fractured, so you got video game dancers, you got Jasmine Crockett dancing down the halls of Congress, AOC saying, I didn't attend the State of the Union. And then you have, Miss Alyssa Slotkin, who was here to tell people, I guess that basically she wants the Democratic Party to be like the Republican Party. What is this?
He believes in cozying up to dictators like Vladimir Putin and kicking our friends like the Canadians in the teeth. He sees American leadership as merely a series of real estate transactions. As a Cold War kid, I'm thankful it was Reagan and not Trump in office in the 1980s. Trump would have lost us the Cold War. Donald Trump's actions suggest that in his heart, he doesn't believe we're an exceptional nation. He clearly doesn't think we should lead the world. Look, America is not perfect, but I stand with the majority of Americans who believe we are still exceptional, unparalleled. And I would rather have American leadership over Chinese or Russian leadership any day of the week.
And just what is happening here? So Alyssa Slotkin, she's one of the more centrist. She wants the Democratic Party to basically be like the Republicans. She's out here giving praise to Ronald Reagan. She's former CIA. But you have Congressman Al Green here who said last night, I stood up for those who need Medicaid, Medicare, and Social Security. Democrats will never abandon the fight to make sure every American has a safe, healthy, and financially secure life. I said what I said. So some of the criticism that's coming this way is that people feel as though everybody else should have got out and walked. They should have walked out with Al Green. So there's friction there. And I say this because now, as we can see, Al Green has been censured. The final vote came to 224 to 198. 10 Democrats voted to censure him. Listen to this. And you can see the votes here.
On this vote, the yeas are 224, the nays are 198, with 2 answering present. The resolution is adopted. Without objection, a motion to reconsider is laid on the table. The House will come to order. The House will come to order. Shh. Will Representative Green present himself to the well? By its adoption of House Resolution 189, the House has resolved that Representative Al Green be censured, that Representative Al Green forthwith present himself in the well of the House of Representatives for the pronouncement of censure.
So what they're doing now, ladies and gentlemen, is they're starting to sing "We Shall Overcome."
And that Representative Al Green be censured with public reading of this resolution by the Speaker. The House will come to order. The House will come to order. What's that? You want to keep doing this or the House will come to order. Clear the well, please. Clear the well. The House has to continue its business. Just say the House.
This is just, guys, do you see why I'm saying like this is a joke? We live in a mad world. Like they're sitting here singing "We shall overcome." It's so performative. Again, this is their way of showing, look, guys, we're fighting. We're fighting. That's not fighting. That's not fighting. What the hell is this? Remember when Rashida Tlaib was censured? There were Democrats that voted for her too. Even Jamil Hill is making fun of it. Jamil Hill said, Democrats never learn. And there's the picture there she put up of Nancy Pelosi and Clyburn kneeling and Kente Cloth, excuse me. And she's, of course, referring to, again, what I just showed you, them singing "We Shall Overcome." Even she is mocking it. She's a Democrat stan. You guys look like fools. It's embarrassing. I'm just like, you can't be serious. You can't be. You can't be.
approval rating, and even amongst their own party has like a 40%, the lowest Quinnipiac has ever measured. And I think last night and sort of what's been going on, there's a reason why congressional Democrats have like a 20% approval rating, and even amongst their own party has like a 40%, the lowest Quinnipiac has ever measured. And I think last night and sort of what's been going on over the past few months is a gosh darn good illustration of that.
Agreed.
Thank you, Hannah.
So they're making fun of the fact that the congressional Democrats have such a low approval rating. Like, and you guys are out there dancing through the halls of Congress. You're out there pretending that you're video game fighters. It's embarrassing. You're standing there and you're saying, "We shall overcome." This is sad. It's pathetic. That's not fighting. That's virtue signaling. And even Jamil Hill is calling you out. That's how you know how sad you are. This is just ridiculous. It's a mad world. Hey guys, this was a Sabby clip. If you like what you saw, hit that like button and subscribe.